goody goody, here it comes.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show.
You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
Oh my God, don't stop now!
With your hosts, Brian, John, and Elaine.
Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show, the madhouse for film freaks and film fans of all types. I'm your host, Brian Coddington, joined by my fellow co-hosts and filmmakers, John and Lane Woolscroft.
Jingle bells, this film really sucks.
Oh,
Hi,
she
everybody.
stole your thunder.
You know
Just a
what?
She
little.
stole your thunder.
You dirty, filthy whore. I even had something planned. Well,
Oh my God.
Literally during the opening, I thought of something.
Well, lay it on me.
I was going to say, it's trouble time.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
shit.
even have the action figure gang. I know this is an audio podcast, so why do we have a toy with us? But
Because you're going to take a picture of it later.
throw it on
and
the
throw
yeah,
it on the
social
Instagrams.
medias. Yeah.
That's right.
You know, I like that his spirit is here.
You know, and its thing is the Turbo Man doll has like light up legs, and he's supposed to talk. This is from 1996, and
You got it probably from
Turbo Man
Walmart.
don't talk anymore.
No, he's got the ED of the voice.
He's not even like he doesn't even have that like weird broken down robot voice. It just doesn't work.
I know, it's such a shame because so John always has like these fun things he finds at home, like anytime we go there.
Yeah.
And one time we found his pigskin Pete in the basement.
That
Now,
sounds
what's a
that
pigskin
sounds
Pete?
really bad, by
I'm
the way.
working on it,
Okay.
yo. So Pigskin Pete is like a local kind of, not a toy per se, but it's a local thing, you know, for the Steelers.
Well, you can get it for any team.
Oh, can you? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So like you can get it for any team, and of course, you know, John has it for the Steelers.
It
And
looks like a giant Hummel figurine, but it's like 18 inches tall.
yeah, it's huge.
and it wears a football uniform.
Yeah, and it's like electronic and, you know, has like phrases
Yeah,
it says, except when it's in John's basement for 20 years, and then when you try to play it again, it sounds like it's been possessed by the devil.
You know what? I had the same thing with remember Pee Wee Herman doll?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay, so that thing gave
think
me
I remember
nightmares.
this
That thing
story.
gave me fucking
This is
nightmares.
old school Brian story here.
This is old school Brian story. Before we got the podcast, I was telling him another old school Brian story. But this one, when I was a kid, I had the Pee Wee Herman doll, and I had a terrible nightmare, and it freaked me out. So then I threw it into the garage. Okay, years later, when we were moving, found the Pee Wee Herman doll. The Pee Wee Herman doll basically traveled with us, and to every house we went to.
I mean, he probably could walk on his own. It's
It
fine.
could. And literally every house we'd move to, this doll would somehow end up there. I don't know how. Maybe it was because like my dad or my mom thought, hey, let's hold on to this. You know, he might not be terrified of it
Dude,
later.
it's a Toy
It's
Story
fine.
thing. Like it was like they were riding the RC down
Yes.
the road towards the van.
Only it's the thing of nightmares. So
Buzz, you're fine. Ah, that's the magic word.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I loved me some Pee Wee back
well,
in the day.
I did too until I had a
I gotta see
nightmare.
where this is going.
Until I had a nightmare. So this must have been probably when I was around 15 years old. We're clearing out the basement of the house that we lived in when we moved to Pennsylvania. And sure enough, fucking Pee Wee Herman doll's there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm old enough now. Let's see. Does the thing even still work? So I pull the pull string and it goes. So literally the
Oh
thing
my.
of nightmares.
So it's essentially, that at that exact moment, the sound thing just broke.
Yeah. Well, no, it
Oh
was
my
still
God,
it
it's
was,
hearing it
crazy.
break.
it was going like, it's just the thing of nightmares.
No, so Pigskin Pete was the exact opposite. John like pulled. I don't know if it's like the string or the
No,
button.
it's a
Or,
button.
It was
in
a
the box.
button.
So here's what's terrifying about it. He's supposed to be like, oh, hey, game day. I got my game ball. Let's go Steelers. Ding, ding, ding. You know, and it was the Super Bowl 43 when we played the Cardinals. I was like, oh, you know what'd be funny? I'm going to bring Pigskin Pete, and everybody will like really laugh because we're going to a Super Bowl party. I go to hit the button.
it was bone chilling.
And the
Like,
thing is, he was going super slow because his head bobbles back and
Oh,
forth. And it's
God.
supposed to be really fast, but he kind of slowly turned and looked at you like he just realized you were in the room.
oh man, dude,
Oh my
Here's-
god.
it was
what-
bad.
This is where it gets really creepy. I was in the basement like 5 years later, and I just for chuckles, I was like, let's see if he's still possessed by the devil. I hit the button. I got my game ball. Let's play. I'm like, oh my God, he's okay again. What the
He was
hell?
exercising.
Seriously.
He was
Captain Howdy left
Captain
the
Howdy
basement,
left
yeah.
the basement.
So sadly, our Turbo Man has no signs of possession. I'm kind of disappointed after you guys' stories.
Give it a day.
But guys, isn't it beautiful how a movie about how crazy capitalism and the toy rush can get and consumerism is
Listen.
that they make a toy out of that, completely missing the whole point
This
of their
wasn't
own
lost
story.
on me. I was a lit major. No, I'm just kidding. But no, like I actually find the irony really, really crass.
It's like the action figures for Starship Troopers. Like, let's make a dystopian, like,
Did they have action figures?
Oh,
for
yeah.
Starship Troopers?
Oh, the bugs, the
Oh,
actual
my God.
grunts. Yeah, you could get them all.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, when you watch, like, I like Starship Troopers as a movie, like, of the Paul
I
Verhoeven
love
movies.
Starship Troopers.
It's hilarious, but when you go back and watch, you're like, this is clearly fascism, like, at its work.
Yeah.
Like, completely at it. Anyway,
I would say we need to do it really that awful on Starship Troopers.
We do.
Spoiler
We do.
alert, it's not. It's fucking awesome.
Oh,
it
wow. So you just
So-
laid your cards on the table.
So anyway-
I'm going to lay them out even further. I'm coming in hot. Starship Troopers is in the top 5 films of 97, maybe top 3.
there wasn't much in 97, though.
That's true. Fuck Titanic.
I mean, I was going to say, that's... Everyone was like, fuck, we can't release a movie. Titanic's coming out. It's going to dominate.
Collide with death.
So if you didn't gather from the, where we at, 5 minutes now,
Yeah.
conversation, we're going to be talking about Jingle All The Way today.
Yeah.
Episode
Welcome to the
157.
pantheon of utter shit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and it's a holiday one. You know?
Yes.
So-
Welcome to the holiday season where we shove Christmas down your throat.
Yeah,
You know.
and welcome to the holiday season. If you guys can't tell, I'm sick, so
Yeah.
if
I'll try
Elaine-
not to cough up a lung.
Lane may be a little bit extra quiet in this episode, and you may hear some off mic coughing.
Or
so,
some, vomiting or
yeah. If that's your fetish,
phlegm.
then
Guys,
go
I'm
for it.
good. No
A
vomiting.
lot of phlegm. This might be some phlegm.
Diarrhea,
You guys are so gross.
pustule.
I told you we
outbreaks,
always talk about fluids every episode. God,
ear,
We didn't.
ear wax buildup.
I don't think we talked about fluids on Batman Forever.
That's
oh, I'm sure we did.
I
we
mean,
talked.
the whole
no,
thing is a giant
we
fluid.
talked-
We talk about nipples.
We did. Badass.
I mean, you
That's
have
Joel
to.
Schumacher's fault.
I'm sure we talked about fluids.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you always wondered what would the Terminator be like if he was, say, an average human, selling mattresses and married to a surprisingly smoking hot Rita Wilson. I'm going to be honest with you. She's not bad looking.
She looks good in this. You guys are like very into her in this. But
I'm just
She was
gonna
kind
put
of
this out there,
milfing
though.
it.
Arnold's not a bad looking dude, and let's face it. I mean, he's jacked as shit. Like, if that's your thing, if you're into the muscular dudes, you can't go much more wrong than Arnold.
That's
you know?
true.
No, not every woman wants like the guy who has like the giant booby pectorals. But
well, it's funny because like that's much more commonplace now, i.e. every single film that John Cena's ever in, like they try to make him look like a normal human being. And they did it in a Hugh Jackman movie too, where they tried to make him look normal, didn't they?
well, I remember it was right in the height of Wolverine. It was
Yeah.
Prisoners came out.
Oh,
Yeah,
They put him in
that's
big
what it
puffy
was.
winter jackets to hide his like rippling muscles.
Yeah, which was a shame, man. It was a shame.
Yeah.
I just find it funny because it's like it's the fucking Terminator. The guy was in Predator as well, and
And he's just like somebody's like
just
loser dad.
No, but he's like
now.
he's a mattress salesman.
Well, this is that era of.
Well, he sells
Arnold
draperies
movies.
in the new one, in the new Terminator.
We don't need to
Oh,
talk
really?
about that. Yeah.
He's a
But this is
drapery.
the era of the Ivan Reitman era Arnold, where like Junior and Twins,
Junior.
and Kindergarten Cop. So
Yeah.
this is like not really that out of place for
Wait,
him.
Ivan Reitman, didn't he direct Ghostbusters?
Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
And then he directed all that other shit?
Yes.
Look, Ivan Reitman, when it comes to Ghostbusters, is an A+ director. Anything else, he's a B+ director.
It's kind of true.
What a difference cocaine makes, you guys.
It's a wonderful drug.
Yay.
But the point is I'm trying to get is like in all those movies though, it's kind of the joke that he's this
Yeah.
muscular dude and he
Kindergarten
doesn't
Cop, he's
fit
a
in.
cop.
But he doesn't
Right.
he doesn't fit in. So like this one,
Except Junior.
he's not the joke. It's not the joke. He literally is trying to play
Just a dude.
normal human being who's not the fucking Terminator. He's a mattress salesman.
Although Phil
who is
Hartman later
forgetful.
on does say, you can't bench press your way out of this
Yes.
That's
Yes.
fair.
one. Which was
That's
him
fair.
improving, clearly.
That's him improving, you know. But-
R.I.P. Phil Hartman.
yeah, seriously. But my point is like Jingle All The Way is that one movie where they're just like, yeah, let's see if Arnold can play a normal human, you know.
Well, interestingly enough, this movie came out of Arnold's failure to relaunch Planet of the Apes
That's
with
correct.
himself as the star, the Chuck Heston of this version. And they said, well, we got this dumbass Christmas script. Do you want to just do that one? Give me $20 million. Okay. Oh, you idiot. I also
Amazing.
want 2% of them Turbo dolls. Okay.
dolls.
They're action
They're
figures,
action
but whatever.
figures. Dolls.
Don't care.
And yeah, he made himself a clean payday on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is that classic '90s cynicism where, like,
oh man, it really is bad.
And the thing is, like, you don't want to be driven by cynicism, but at the same time, the same year this movie came out, Tickle Me Elmo came out.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's the year that.
Same year.
Fucking toy. Oh my God, it's the most annoying thing. I don't have
capitalism.
I don't have children. I don't have younger siblings. I have no reason to know what that goddamn thing sounds like, but it is the most annoying thing on God's universe. Oh my God. It's the worst.
my brother, who was at the time this movie came out, he was probably about 1 year old.
Oh,
and
baby Tyler.
Baby Tyler. We didn't get him the Tickle Me Elmo at the time this came out because they didn't exist. Like you couldn't get them. You just couldn't get them.
Oh,
so
sure.
I remember,
they made like 4 of them, right?
It was like the year later.
Well, you didn't break into a radio station
No.
and do all the reindeer?
First of all, when this came out, I was 11, so no, I was not. But the point I'm trying to get across is, like, eventually we did get a Tickle Me Elmo,
Right.
And the thing does sound like the thing of nightmares.
What tickles?
So it also, I think
Get
it
your
does.
finger out of there.
Yeah, I also think it kind of promotes inappropriate
Consent is
touching.
important. Sorry.
What was that last one?
Consent is important. John has to make it about him. He can't help it. He can't help himself.
I know you can't help
It's
yourself.
fine. Everything's
But-
fine.
yeah.
But yeah, so it's this movie really for me just kind of glorifies the capitalist idea of, hey, I can't, love my kid, so I guess I'll just buy shit for
I
him.
can't love my kid. Listen, that is a valid parenting style, okay?
No, it's not.
Look, man, if your kid was Jake Lloyd, you would sell
I mean,
mattresses all day, too.
it's
Listen, let's not shit on Jake Lloyd. He's real cute.
He's had a lot of problems.
I mean, honestly,
He's real cute in this movie.
he's Anakin Skywalker's father in this. Okay, I always wondered who Anakin's
true.
dad is.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. That
It's
makes so
Arnold
much
Schwarzenegger.
sense.
And Anakin turned into a whiny little shit because Howard Langston couldn't love him.
Aw,
And here we all thought it's because his midichlorians.
We
were
thought it
off
was
the scale.
metachlorians.
Jesus.
But this movie basically, kind of give you the plot points here. Arnold plays Howard Langston, who is the worst father of all time.
He's that classic 90s father, like, I'm obsessed with my business. I don't have enough time for my kids.
Yeah.
Will I learn a valuable lesson about being a father? It's
Spoiler alert, no. It's the 90s, and
No.
we're still so obsessed
No,
with
you won't.
he
consumerism.
accidentally, gets the love of his son by the end of the movie. It's not like
But
Hook, you know.
Yeah.
it's a matter of, like, what sort of shit do you have to do to get that love instead of just being, a good dad. Like,
Right.
that's what I saw this as. It's like, yeah, you gotta dress up as a cartoon character and fly around in goofy proportions.
In circumstances that make no logical sense. Like, talk about
cartoon
blind
character. And ultimately that is what convinces your son to love you.
It's
'cause you're Turbo Man.
amazing.
Because you're fucking Turbo Man.
Not because you like.
Did you say
have a-
Turbo Dad, John? Because I loved it.
No, I
Turbo.
didn't. I
He
looked
said
at it.
Turbo Man.
Turbo Dad.
Rewind the tape. I said Turbo Man. But yeah, not because he's giving you a cushy life in the suburbs by selling like crappy mattresses to idiots. No, you can't love him for that. It's because he's Turbo Man now. And wait till he takes that latex suit off, though. He's just sweating in that thing.
Oh, really seals in the flavor.
It does.
You just steal that from Batman.
Sure did.
did.
Badman's hilarious.
Yeah. So yeah, we're introduced to Howard Langston. We're introduced to his lifestyle of basically selling mattresses. He
His
doesn't take-
lifestyle.
It's his lifestyle. He doesn't take any time for himself. And he's just kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Like the man,
He's clueless, too.
He's a clueless idiot.
And he misses his son's karate tournament where he gets the purple belt.
Surprise. Like, little kids in karate. I mean, like,
And
they
I
all
don't know.
do it. It's fine.
I would, if I was Howard, I'd been like, look, dude, it's only a purple belt.
Purple's not bad. Purple's like middle of the scale.
Hey, it's 2 steps away from black, okay?
It depends on the dojo, but yes, it's pretty close.
I don't know. Do these belts really fucking mean anything if little Jake Lloyd can have a purple belt and be
Yeah,
two steps
Excuse
away
like-
from a
me,
black
excuse
belt?
me,
Yes,
little
they do.
little Anakin.
Little
Okay.
Anakin.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
John, can we not shit on the ancient art of karate just for your like
If
own
an 8-year-old is a
misunderstanding?
black belt, then it means nothing.
No, because that black belt, that little 8-year-old could kick your ass.
Hey, aren't there degrees of black belt? Doesn't
Yeah,
there like
there
a
are.
first, second, and third degree?
Yeah, and I'll
Isn't
tell you
that
what,
how it works?
as the only
so by 9 he'll be a 3rd degree
That's
black
right.
as the only person here who has studied karate, Mr. Mansplainer, The black belt test is like 12 hours long to get your 12.
That's pretty intense. That's a pretty intense test, 12 hours.
I got to a blue belt. That's like fun psychos trivia that I got up to a blue belt.
You have
and it was
karate trophies in your home bedroom.
I do, and one's the shape of a
bedroom.
cobra. It's so cool.
Of course, it's the shape of a cobra. It was from the 90s.
Well, it was from the King Cobra tournament. So amazing.
You saw three ninjas and
You
got all
know who
worked
else
up.
goes to the King Cobra tournament?
Who?
Friend of the show, Len Kabaczynski.
No shit.
Len is very practiced in the martial arts. He is amazing. He wins like every award.
That man could kill you.
Oh,
he
yeah.
wins every award.
I mean, I've seen his stuff because every once in a while he'll post things on.
yeah, and he'll post himself with
Facebook.
like 40 trophies.
And I'm just like, that man could quite literally kill
he's
a man.
incredible. He's
I've been on set
incredible.
with him, and he's like, "I'm gonna do a high kick." I'm like, "Okay," and his leg is over his head. He is 20 feet in the air. I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Listen.
So, Len, if you disagree with my takes on karate, Facebook me, man.
Oh my God, Len, he knows nothing about karate.
He's gonna show up to your house and just sidewind kick you.
He should.
And
That
he
would be amazing. I would
and
never
he has
stop
a
laughing.
friend of the show, P.O. Vincent.
Yeah.
Like he messaged me. He's like, "Dude, how do you know Len Kabaczynski?"
Oh man,
Like
the world
I've
is
worked
so
with him. He's a
small.
friend of mine. He's like, "Oh man, I'm a fan." I was like,
That's
"Oh,
awesome.
There you go, Len."
The world is so
So you
small.
realize we
y'all.
haven't talked at all about Jingle All the fucking way.
You know, I don't
Hey,
think
we're
that's an
getting- okay.
accident. Okay.
All right, so this
wait,
movie is-
just really quick.
Yeah.
Everyone's like first experience with it. I saw it in school like the day before Christmas vacation when we were in elementary school.
No. Okay. I
mean, did anybody see it in the theater? I mean,
yes,
we usually talk about
No,
it.
I did.
absolutely
I did.
But I have an explanation on that one. In my hometown, there used to be on Main Street, there was a one screen theater
Oh, yeah.
where you went for everything. And you had
It's
to
a
wait in
hairdresser
line.
now.
Yeah, even in the wintertime. They were put out of business by my childhood movie theater, Village Cinema, because they had 2 screens.
Holy shit!
Not one,
screens.
but 2 screens.
And there wasn't much to do in the summertime, so like my sister and I, we would go to like a movie like almost every other day, no matter what was there, because it was cheap and
Yeah.
we could walk to the movie theater. So of course we saw Jingle All the Way. I was a fan of Arnold.
Did you see it in summertime?
This movie came out around the holidays.
Yeah,
oh,
this
okay.
movie came out in
you
November.
You said that you
Yeah.
guys saw movies all the time in the summer, and I just didn't know like the thread
I guess
of
all year round. Excuse
Yeah.
me.
narrative thread,
So,
my
yeah,
dude.
I mean, I saw it. I didn't expect much of it, and I didn't get much out of it. But
okay.
it was what it was. Yeah, because for reasons that we'll go into and why this movie failed. But yeah,
Yes.
Brian, when did you first?
So I vaguely remember seeing this on VHS tape at my cousin's house
Ooh.
on I think it might have been Christmas Day or
Oh, wow.
yeah. So we gone to their house and I remember
They just
this
wanted to
was,
shut the
well,
kids up.
yeah,
but
yeah. I just remember this was
Listen,
on. And I'm
that's a
like,
valid life choice.
I'm just like, oh, look at that, Arnold's Turbo Man. That's cool. And I didn't quite get it, and I'm like, all right, that's good. And I mean, later I watched it as entirely. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the whole thing at the time, but I'm like, oh, okay, it's all right.
yeah.
and I think this
That's
movie,
11-year-old Brian talking. That's not 34-year-old Brian talking.
34-year-old Brian is like, this movie sucks.
yes, I am.
Well, I mean, there's a reason why we're talking about a lot of things around this movie. It's a very simple story. The
the guy trying to buy a toy.
The casting is
To buy his,
strange.
no, he's trying to buy his son's love.
None
Yeah.
of the characters
Yes.
really learn anything. It's a bizarre movie. I think especially because of when Arnold happenstances into the suit and all the shenanigans that happen with
A
the
lot
neighbor.
of
It's not a
shenanigans
movie.
are
Here's the
good way
thing:
to put it,
a
yeah.
lot of people who have also reviewed this movie have said that it is that point when the movie clearly
Goes off the
the
rails.
fucking rails.
Yeah, agreed.
And is no longer even. It almost looks like 2 movies at that point.
I agree.
Well, the number one
It's very
problem
weird.
with this movie is tonal issues. And,
Yes.
a lot of times people take for granted, tone, but it's the most invaluable thing in your movie.
it
and
is.
you can't simultaneously have a cynical look on our capitalist system and wacky Three Stooges shenanigans.
No.
They don't
No.
work together. And
Because the shenanigans directly support the capitalism in this, because
Yes.
it's like a fucking parade of Turbo Man. By the way, parades in towns are never toy based. Just so we all know, there's
Well-
no toy shit.
Well, this was
in
filmed,
small towns.
This was filmed in Hollywood. So
Right.
that
part
scene.
well, that scene was
that scene was filmed in Hollywood, which is why you see all of the toy shit all over the place.
So it's supposed to be Hollywood.
no.
It's supposed to,
It's supposed to be
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Yeah,
Minnesota.
so I'm saying small
Yeah.
towns like that would never have
No.
that.
I don't know any.
Minneapolis does have a parade actually on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve in the evening.
I didn't say that they didn't have a parade. I mean, like, not a toy parade.
Yeah.
Because, like, Pittsburgh has a Christmas parade.
Well,
I mean,
Power
a lot
Rangers
of towns
came out.
do.
They were all over everything, you know. They had their Power Rangers feces on everything.
Oh,
They-
feces.
I would say Power Ranger jizz.
Oh.
Go Power Rangers.
You guys with the fluids again. Can we focus, please?
Yeah, we can. So anyway, the story is not that complex. Howard Langston is a forgetful parent. He forgets his son's karate tournament, and his wife, Liz, played by Rita Wilson, is like, "You fucked up.
Go make it up.
Go make it up. You fucked up."
Jamie, I will buy you whatever you want for Christmas. Whatever you want, I get you whatever. No matter what the cost, no matter what.
I want a Turbo Man doll, the one that blah, 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 blah.
Okay, I go
Sold,
get it.
fucker. I'm gonna get one Christmas Eve. You know.
Well, yeah, but then, like, Rita Wilson's like, hey, dumbass, you should have gotten that about 4 weeks
Well, no,
ago.
she's like, you got that 4 weeks ago, and he's like,
Yeah, I
By the
did.
way, I'm going to disappear for 12 hours on Christmas Eve. Don't question me.
Well, too, it's in this movie that eBay was born. No, I'm just kidding. Wouldn't eBay have been useful? I feel like it'd be a different movie now.
Well, this
Oh,
movie
yeah.
wouldn't exist now.
Well, the
This
thing is-
movie would not exist.
Yeah, the thing is, somebody would have like saw the trends, bought like 15 Turbo Man dolls at like what $29.95 a piece, and then sold them for $1,000 a piece on Amazon or
Dude,
eBay.
like
yeah.
Dwight does on The Office with that unicorn doll.
Na ka-ching.
It's so true.
Yeah. So anyway, Howard decides that he's going to spend Christmas Eve trying to track down a fucking toy because he needs to buy his son's love.
Where he commits countless laws.
Oh, my
breaks
God.
countless
Oh,
laws.
it's
Yeah.
so
Well,
it's so bad.
let's go through the number of laws that he does break here. Okay.
Well, okay. Well, first off, before law break number one, we should acknowledge the fact that he meets wacky Sinbad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, yes.
Do you guys remember fucking Sinbad? Oh, my
Yes,
Lord.
yes, I do.
And they're
And
like,
I'm glad I don't anymore.
am I
What's
reading?
he doing now?
He was last time I saw
Oh.
him. He was in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He was in an episode of that.
What?
I saw him recently on Talking Dead.
What?
Really?
Yeah, he's a big Walking Dead fan.
Really? So
I was
he's like, okay.
Sinbad, how you doing?
He's
man?
okay. Everything's good with him.
Yeah.
No like
Yeah.
accusations. No drugs.
No,
Good.
no,
As far as I
Okay.
know, no.
No,
Well,
no
good.
Sinbad sex pervert stuff.
Good
you know?
for you,
No,
Sinbad.
he escaped that unscathed.
Good for you.
But anyway, yeah, we meet Myron, who is a mailman who is just again trying to buy his son's love, just like Arnold, because they're the same.
Because remember in the 90s, that was a big thing about like post office workers going crazy.
Yes.
You know?
And this was a big that was like a knock on it.
Yeah.
It's he's gonna go nuts.
Yeah.
And there's
He's
a
going
scene
to go postal.
and there's a scene where that does happen.
Yeah.
But anyway, do we want to go down the line of laws that Arnold has broken?
So very quickly here, yeah, he goes into a place where they get a late shipment of Turbo Man dolls, and they throw out racket balls, like bouncy racket balls. And the thing is, like, if you catch one, you got to catch one, and if your number's called on the racket ball,
Yeah, they're the bouncy balls.
bouncy balls, yeah,
Yeah.
then you're a lucky winner to be able to purchase one of these dolls. One of them he chases for no reason down an escalator, ends up in a ball pit with children, and he jumps in the ball pit and he's trying to like grab it out of a child's mouth, and all the women around him are like, "Hey, you're a child rapist. We're gonna hit you with our purses."
I'm not a pervert. I'm just trying to get Turbo Man doll.
But like, why did he follow that one ball?
Well, that's
because
the thing.
the story needed to happen.
Well, I
We
never
needed a
understood
set
that.
piece.
I never understood that either. First of all, getting that ball isn't going to guarantee you're going to get the fucking toy.
No.
It just means that you have a chance.
Right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
why would you run all over the place for a chance?
Yeah,
Wouldn't
meanwhile, there are like 50 other balls
Yes,
just
grab
bouncing
one of
around
those.
him.
But I just want to get to the crimes here. So up until that point,
That's not
he had-
technically a crime, I don't think. Yeah.
no, I would say the open amounts of assault that happen in the first toy store. Remember, he meets Myron, and that's at the first toy store where
Oh, yeah.
he's fighting him and trying to beat him up and shit like that. He also commits property damage by beating the shit out of that Turbo Man standee. Okay, so that's property damage. More assault at this toy store, okay, where he gets the ball, and then attempt lewd conduct on a child.
Yeah.
Ew.
Oh, and then he goes, he tries to get a knockoff Turbo Man doll.
He does.
Beats up like 35 men, and then
More
impersonates
assault.
a police officer, which
Yes.
is... Which
Oh, that's a big
that's a
one.
big crime there.
Well, it's actually only in Minneapolis, I believe it's only a misdemeanor, but you would still get a year in prison.
Still a crime.
Wow, did you look that up?
What's that? There was a video I watched on YouTube. That
I was
told me
going to
that.
say your commitment to our podcast
Yeah.
is total.
But
my
I mean, that
friend.
was how I looked it up.
So,
Right.
So that's just a sampling of all the crimes here.
I mean, that's not all of them.
And that's not all of them. I mean, there's more. The biggest one, I
He's
think.
an accomplice to a bomb exploding.
Okay, I gotta admit, I do love that whole scene.
I don't like that they went back and their faces were just covered in
No,
like their Wile E. Coyote.
They should have fucking died.
Yeah, they should have got back and their blood and guts
Blood and guts everywhere.
It looks like The Shining.
I mean, you want to talk about your tone changing? That right there would have been
The walls
great.
covered in intestines. You're wow.
Wow, guys.
Or it's just like the legs of the cop that was after him. It's just his smoking legs left behind. But
He breaks into the radio station.
yes,
It's a B&E.
that's a beanie.
Threatens a man, more property damage because he kicks the door in.
Well,
like
he
Last
kicks the
Action
door
Hero.
like a psychopath, screaming the reindeer names. Yeah.
Dasher, Tito, Ultraman.
Those are the Jacksons.
Yeah, he breaks in like a psychopath. And then, Myron threatens everybody with an explosive device in a package. And this is the knock on postal workers. He's like, people send bombs every day. And we have to remember, like, this is pre 9/11. Okay? Pre 9/11. You couldn't.
We were babes.
We were really babies when it came to this sort of thing.
We were sweet summer children.
And that's where I think, like, this movie wouldn't really work nowadays, especially with this scene in it. I don't think you'd have it in there.
Well, they had to like reanimate Stitch, like Lilo and Stitch. I think like Stitch grabs like control of a plane, starts like dangerously flying it low through a city. I don't think Stitch crashes the plane, but it was kind of like, this movie it was scheduled to come out like 2 weeks after 9/11.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do an emergency reanimation.
Yeah. But shenanigans ensue after that, and we didn't even mention this yet. While all this is going on, you've got Phil Hartman as
Acting his ass off.
one of, I would say, the creepiest characters in cinema history.
He is like, I mean, like that shit wouldn't
He's
fly today.
Your
fucking-
wife has the warmest cookies.
Well, it's not just
Ew,
that.
Is that an actual line?
I
Will
think
it grow up?
down.
I think that Ted is actually a psychopath.
I think he is too.
I think the man is a literal psychopath. Okay? Mainly because of the fact that, one, he gets off this image of, like, he's the mild-mannered, lovable, single dad who's, all the women want to fuck. Like, every
right.
one of them
like
want
that's
to
so
fuck.
random.
Look, guys, I won't go so far as a psychopath. I think the guy just has cum up to his eyeballs.
Oh my god.
I think he's a psychopath because look at the way that he flips out at the kids.
Yeah,
with
man.
the cookies. Like, he literally goes from, like, 0 to 11.
He's an incel.
You know what? Yeah, and
he is an incel.
he wants to ski to Wilson. You know what I mean?
Which, as I
Wow.
said, I get it.
Brian,
She's
you
pretty damn hot.
glazed right over Skeet O'Wilson.
Skeet.
He's disgusting. You're disgusting. Well, and I think that this trope was really common in the 90s where it's like, oh, the nice guy next door. Like, no, he's fucking creepy and everything he does is unacceptable.
He's creepy, and as I said, like, there's a scene where he's trying to eat the cookies after Rita Wilson goes to take a shower, which I find weird. Like, one, I don't take a shower if I have any guests over at my house.
I mean, we got to be good damn friends for it to happen.
But
I will say.
even with you guys, like, I've known you guys for years.
Yeah.
If I'm not taking a shower with you guys in the house.
Well, like I'll shower like with my friends in the house when we're on vacation, but it has to be my
That's
girlfriend.
a different story.
girlfriends,
That's a
you
different story. If you're all bunking in a
I'm
vacation
showering right
house-
now. Can you hear the water?
Yeah. The point I'm trying to get across is, like, Rita Wilson goes to take a shower, and Phil Hartman's supposed to watch the kids, which he's not really watching the kids. He's just eating
the
more
worst.
cookies, and he burns his finger on one of them, and, like, literally, like, snaps at the children and says, "Shut the fuck up," basically.
Yeah,
In a
he's
PG
insane.
way.
And that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, I
PG,
think
yeah.
the man's a psychopath.
Yeah.
I think he's called Ted because they were thinking of Ted Bundy.
Or maybe, remember that movie Stepfather?
Yes.
With the guy from Lost or whatever?
There's like 3 of them.
That's true.
I've seen 3 of them. I've seen all 3.
3 isn't bad, 2 sucks. But
2's not too bad. I like 2.
we'll go into that another time. But but the thing is, like, this story goes nowhere because Rita Wilson is never into him and at the end
She's busy
still not
pumping
into him.
iron with,
Right.
with Howard.
Yeah.
Lane, you didn't catch that one.
Yeah.
No, I did not.
She's pumping iron with Arnold.
Yeah. I mean, would you, if you were getting Mr. Olympia, would you really want, Mr. Second City?
Listen,
Yeah.
listen. I think Arnold's physique is too much. So
Yeah, he's not your thing. You like a more like a David Boreanaz body.
that was a random '90s reference.
David
Thank you for
Boreanaz
that. Let's say Finn
He's your
Balor.
angel.
Let's bring it into
Finn Balor.
the new generation.
For all of you who do not watch professional wrestling, he is a active wrestler in the WWE.
And he's an ally. He's amazing. I love Finn Balor. Anyway,
But,
that's our wrestling reference for the
in
episode.
case you guys are wondering why it seems like we're all over like this, there's not much of this movie. Like,
No, there really isn't much to talk about.
Let me break this movie down, and I'm going to do it. Lane, could you time me for about 20 seconds?
Sure.
Howard is a bad father, promises that he would get the most expensive toy possible for his son. He doesn't have access to it. He goes out and wacky shenanigans ensue, one set piece after another that always end in violence. A guy tries to bang his wife, fails horribly. At the end, he wins the value of his wife and son and gets the Turbo Man doll.
Wow.
There's
That's
the whole
good.
movie.
That's literally the whole
18
movie.
seconds.
So razor thin, but guys, a lot of people talk about this movie like The Room or Troll 2. I just obviously rewatched it. It's not that fucking bad. It's not good.
Well, here's the thing.
It's not that
It's not
bad.
fun like those other movies are. Like the stench of capitalism is on this film, which I
Yeah.
think is a big detriment to it to begin with. But then I think that the break in basically the third act of him being in the Turbo Man outfit and it being like really high
goes so
stakes,
over the
like
top.
nobody's gonna climb a fucking building over this toy. Like there's a point where a real
a live
person
jetpack.
is gonna be like, okay, I fucked up. Like I really just have to cop to it now.
Well, he tries to go to the parade, and they think he's the guy that plays Turbo Man.
Because he looks like Arnold
He's
Schwarzenegger.
built like a human shit kicker.
I think if the audience hadn't been lost by that point, like when Sinbad is dressed like the bad character from the Turbo Man show, and Arnold's dressed as Turbo Man, and they're legit like fighting each other during the parade, and Arnold has a live jetpack, and it's just like this movie has now gone even more off the rails because it already was off the rails.
Here's my favorite part about not just Sinbad's character, but especially at that scene. So, like, Sinbad gives you this really, like, sob story halfway through the movie about how the reason why he needs that doll, action figure, is because of the fact that he wants to make sure. I know, but he wants to ensure that his son is successful because I guess Sinbad couldn't get that toy from his dad.
Yeah, it was like it was actually a
It
real.
was a
action
real.
figure.
I remember it.
Yeah.
It was the Johnny 7 Omega gun, and apparently getting that piece of plastic is a guarantee to success.
And what a way to shit on mailmen, by the way.
Seriously.
It's like, oh no, if you don't get the right toy for Christmas, you may become a mailman.
Well,
Like,
no.
you mean
Oh,
you mean
no.
actually a pretty successful
Well-
carear with benefits and a retirement plan? Oh,
I was gonna say, it
how
doesn't sound too
fucking
bad
terrible.
now. But
Yeah.
my point is that like Sinbad gives you the sob story about how I need to get that toy for my kid because if he doesn't get it, then he's gonna be a failure just like me. And then what happens in the middle at the end of it? He doesn't get to spend Christmas with his kid because he's in fucking jail.
Because he essentially
He tried to steal a doll from a kid.
attempted
Amazing.
terrorism.
I would say that's terrorism.
Yeah.
I would say that's terrorism.
Yeah.
Great,
Yeah,
good to
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
You tried to kill a kid, okay, over a piece of plastic.
It's pretty gross.
But hey, capitalism, folks.
Well, and then of course the sweet moment at the end of the movie when Jamie finally gets his Turbo Man doll and he's like, "No, Mr. Sinbad, here,
Right.
take the doll for your kid." And Arnold's like,
I thought you really wanted the doll.
and she's like, "But my dad's Turbo Man, so I don't need the doll." And he's like, "Wow, thanks, kid." That's going immediately into an evidence locker.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
the kid
Like,
doesn't get that.
Sinbad has basically been a self-fulfilling prophecy
Yeah.
because that kid now no longer has a father.
Yeah, not only is he not getting a Turbo Man doll, that's the least of his issues. He's going to probably spend Christmas in a police station because his father is in a jail cell.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's probably going to lose his job at the post office.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be homeless.
Well, interestingly to me,
horrible- Jingle All The Way
There's a
too.
reason why there's.
Well, there is.
There is a
Peter
Jingle All The Way too.
Jingle
I
All The
forgot
Way.
about that one.
but the interesting thing to me is that the child is the only one that has any kind of growth, and he didn't really need to.
Yeah, the child really did need to grow. I mean, he's going to grow into Darth Vader anyway, so I mean...
Well, yeah, nobody...
Guys
nobody
need to let it
grows.
go.
No, I don't.
Nobody grows. It would have been interesting if Rita Wilson actually kind of was into Ted, but then realized the value of her marriage, and then, like, so she had an arc.
You mean if anything was thoughtful?
Well,
Yeah,
Rita
but she
Wilson
wasn't
doesn't
involved.
do shit in this movie. She literally is the epitome of just, you're there.
Sexy lamp?
She
Well,
is a sexy lamb.
Sexy
to prove
lamp.
that Arnold has a case of the nutcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, if Ted was given any reason for his behaviors other than I'm a wacky cartoon character in this movie, and
Well, Ted does give a reason. It was because of that salad dressing mix that he got from her. That was it. That
Why
was
are you
all it
making
took.
salad dressing sound so dirty,
Because
Brian?
that's what the
Disgusting.
character did. You want to know my secret to ahi tuna? It's Italian salad dressing.
Oh my God, I'm going to throw up. I feel dirty. I need a shower.
your ability to remember specific Phil Hartman lines from this movie is
Listen,
very
I'm
applaudable.
impressed. I'm impressed.
But yeah, and then Arnold doesn't learn anything. He goes and chases after this doll. He doesn't, and then he gets it by luck, and then the kid loves him by accident. So he doesn't
The
learn
kid
anything.
loves him by accident is
The
my
kid does love
favorite
him
thing
by
you've
accident.
ever
So
said.
literally nobody has any character journey, character growth. Nobody learns anything, including the audience.
So amazing.
It's literally a series of events, and then it's over.
But here's the thing. People love this movie.
Because it's
It's
Christmas.
beloved.
People love
It's
this
beloved.
fucking movie.
All right, I'm hot take.
Uh-oh, hot take.
Uh-oh.
Most Christmas movies are garbage. We just love them because
There's a lot
we
of
watch them every year,
sentimentality,
and we watch them
yeah.
every- Home Alone 1 and 2 are garbage. Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare Before Christmas, woefully average.
Hey now. Hey
It's-
now.
hey.
Don't you besmirch the name of Nightmare Before
Listen,
Christmas.
John's not interested in making friends with this list, okay?
Okay,
Nick.
well, I'm telling you, you're fucking
worst.
wrong.
Mixed Nuts, woefully average. Scrooge, average.
Scrooge is
Scrooge?
great.
What about Scrooge with Bill Murray?
Yeah, that's
no,
what he's talking about. He
Scrooged.
said Scrooge.
Yeah.
You're saying that's average?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
You can eat a bag of dicks on that one. I love that movie.
Wow.
Michael O'Donnell is a miserable prick, and he wrote a movie about miserable people.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's fucking funny.
It's great.
I don't know. It's average.
It's Buster Poindexter's best movie.
That's true. But we love these movies because we watched them all of our lives. And look, I'm not gonna lie. I watch Home Alone 1, 2, Nightmare Before Christmas, and Scrooge every fucking year.
Yeah.
After having
I
said all
guess.
that, so I'm a complete hypocrite. I don't really watch Mixed Nuts.
I was going to say to you.
No.
Yeah. But I just know that there are a lot of people I know who like they swear by Jingle All The Way. And I don't think they're looking at it from like, it's not just a bad movie. It's got terrible messaging in it. Like,
Oh, yeah, no, it's
like
garbage.
that. Going back and watching it again, I'm like, this is really bad. Like, this is some harmful stuff here.
Well, a lot of the messaging too is when this is peak Clinton era where like the economy was doing really well. So like the message is kind of
Keep
skewed.
buying shit, and if you
Yeah.
can't love your kid, buy shit for him, and
Yeah.
you'll be fine.
Purchasing things is the answer to all of your problems.
Yes.
And it's like a lot of those movies like Reality Bites and where like all these like kids who are basically trust fund kids are like, oh my god, I can't believe my parents keep calling me. I just want to live in my brownstone that they pay for me so I can be a photographer and photograph homeless people. I think I just described Rent, but
I think
Yeah,
you did.
I think so.
I think you did.
I think so.
But it's like you watch Reality Bites now under the lens of
It's
like
really-
our current economy, or or like under the George Bush 2007 economy. You're like, oh fuck these people.
Well, I what's funny about Reality Bites? They're like, oh man, my parents said I can get a job, and they have a job lined up for me, and I'm just like, what? Why aren't you getting it?
Yeah.
Do you like working at the mall?
I don't want to sell out, man. I just want to
But-
play my
but-
music in my local bar.
You can still play your music in the local bar, but you can also have like food to eat and a roof over your head. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Look, man, why can't we all just like come together and like have one guy like make all the food in the town, and then one guy protects everybody? You mean
Because
like a
what hap-
baker and a
you-
cop? I just don't get it, man. You haven't been to college, okay?
You don't really understand what I'm trying to get at here.
like a baker and a cup.
But yeah, it's this movie it's empty, but I think one of the biggest problems with this movie is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
He's
that's fair.
so Is this the textbook definition of piss poor casting?
I think that's the movie's first failure for sure.
Don't get me wrong. Arnold is like my Elvis. You know, he's I think he's terrific. If I ever got
I
to
think
meet
you'd
him,
poop if you met him.
Oh, yeah.
I really think you'd
But
poop.
the thing is, like, Dennis Leary should be in this role, right? Classic cynical Dennis ranting
That
and
would be
raving, doing
funny.
his things, you know?
Even Dennis Miller, right? They're both Dennis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dennis
Yeah,
Miller in the 90s.
yeah.
I could have seen it.
Yeah.
Dennis was huge in the 90s.
Well, I think it's just like you can't get past the fact it's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
And I would like to say this is the last time we're going to see him as a cartoon character, but just give it a year because he's going to be fucking Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, we need to talk about that movie because I like him in that.
What?
Oh, well, I mean, you got to say,
What?
he's the only one having fun.
What?
He's the only one having
And
a good
B,
time.
he's
What?
the only one trying his ass off. He sucks.
Do you hear me saying what 1,000 fucking
No,
times here?
he's so funny. in
No,
this
he's
movie.
not. He's terrible.
Oh my god, we need to
Fuck
talk
that
about
movie. Ah!
We definitely need to talk about that movie. I'm
Yeah,
very excited.
I think that this is just a woefully average movie about all the wrong things. Like, and I hate to say this term, but talk about white people problems.
This is seriously.
Oh
white
yeah,
people problems.
absolutely.
It's like, oh no,
Absolutely.
I couldn't buy this really expensive toy for my son who lives in the high end of the suburbs. Like, it's like that, the Home Alone thing.
Well,
like,
yeah, and it's not like I couldn't afford it. I just was too much of a dumbass to go get it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I think that the only reason why it's endured is the sentimentality because of the season. Because, if we wanted to make a movie, I would totally make a Christmas movie because even if it was shitty, people would probably still watch it pretty regularly.
It's true.
Well, it's called
It's true.
I don't think this one falls into it, but it's the term the Christmas play
Yeah.
in Hollywood. The idea is
Agreed.
that you take a movie that's not about Christmas and then you make it about Christmas. So hope that you can, if it bombs, you can recoup it by having it air on TV every year.
You want to know
Right.
something funny? So I went and saw the Mr. Rogers movie over the weekend.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was really good.
I can't wait.
But while I was waiting for the movie, the previews that were coming up were for all of the Hallmark Christmas movies that go on. And they quite literally fall into that trap
Seriously.
of the worst possible films of all time. Like, quite literally, they are the most paper-thin plots with worse acting.
She's a working girl in the city who has no time for family, but suddenly she has to go back to her hometown
Yes.
where she realizes that Kent,
Yes.
the guy she left behind, is really her true love.
Flirp and nerd.
Flirp and nerd.
Hometown Christmas,
Yes.
only on Hallmark.
Yes. But it was almost like Hallmark was playing into it. They know that they're schmaltzy bullshit.
Yeah, man.
But what was interesting was just like how it is very true. You can make that Christmas play and people will flock to it. We were the youngest people in the audience, by the way, at the Mr. Rogers.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I feel like all my friends are seeing it.
No, it was a lot of gray hairs.
Well, I'm gonna throw this out there. Die Hard and Home Alone. I guarantee the first drafts of those movies are not based at Christmas.
Ooh, I
Probably.
would love to know. I would love to know.
Probably.
Yeah, and they threw Christmas in there so that they could rerun them every year. And success.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Every Thanksgiving night, at least Freeform or one of the channels,
Yeah.
airs Home Alone.
Well, we watched it.
Yeah,
On
So, yeah.
Thanksgiving, we watched it.
But
We
yeah.
watched that and part of Home Alone 2.
But guys, to kind of wrap up, I would say that this film isn't as horrible as everybody says. Don't get me wrong, it sucks.
It's not good.
But
Good is no. Mm-mm.
It is. It's just goofy enough to enjoy if you've had a few drinks, but like not like Troll 2 or something like that you watch
No.
every year. Like, yeah, I'm good on Jingle All The Way. That I rewatched it for this episode. I'm good for like another 5 years.
Oh, yeah.
Then I'll
Same
throw
here.
Jingle in All The Way in again and laugh.
Same here.
Yeah.
In 2025.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I know for me, I'm in the same kind of boat, man. I mean, I just, this was the first time I watched it in probably about 5 years.
Yeah.
And I don't need to watch it again.
Yeah. Guys, we'll be pretty much 40 by the time we watch it
There
again.
you go. There you go.
It's
There you
bone
go.
chilling. That's the scariest thing of all.
I'm
Yeah.
23. What are you talking about?
Oh, you're so cute.
So that's it for Jingle on the Way. John, where can they find you at on the Twitter machine?
The Unreal J Wolves.
Lane?
LA_Croft.
You can find me at Brian Carrington, also on the Psycho Show page. Be sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Psycho Show. You can also find us on the Epicast Network at epicastnetwork.com. If you have a favorite movie or question you want to throw away, you want to talk to us about, your desire for a Turbo Man, and if we might have one, which we do, you can contact us at cinemapsychoshow.com. Make sure to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts and iTunes, and catch our new episode next time.
No one fucking likes you, Booster. No one. You can't sit with us.